everyone, welcome to Empower Art Balkans, the podcast where the art meets the reality. I am Angela Mary, and today we are going to speak about something that every young people has thought one in their life, leaving their homeland for opportunity in other country, which is translated in simple words, brain drain. Today's episode, as I said, is part of Empower Art Balkan and is an initiative created by an informal group called Artivist Voices. This project is supported by AU through Right Project and partners in Western Balkans. We have today invited Pegisa Balliu, which is one of the winners of the Empower Art Balkan. Hi.
Hello.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, pretty good.
Okay, first off, congratulations about your art piece. How does it feel to be a winner?
I can't say that I've won a lot of competitions, so being appreciated for my art definitely made me feel pretty good in this case.
I'm happy to hear about that.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, the creativity, the school, everything you do.
I'm the kind of person that has always wanted to do something art related. I wanted to pursue art as a career, but I felt like I couldn't in this country, so I decided to study architecture, which would be kind of like a middle point between something scientific and something artistic. And I think I made the right choice because it would be something to sustain me, but also make me pursue what I want to pursue.
If we talk about your art piece, the one that you submitted to our project, it portrays young people leaving behind their homes, their landscapes, their people, like the bittersweet feeling we all have when we move somewhere for a long time. What inspired you to create that art piece? Was it personal? Have you experienced that? Or was it something like you have seen it from other people's thoughts?
It is something that I slightly experienced because I've been through the work and travel experience in the US, so I did experience leaving home for about 3 months, even though I did end up coming back. But also the feeling that I've always had, that I had to leave my country, that I had to see other places, that I had to experience a different reality that couldn't be provided for me in this country.
Why did you choose the elements of empty streets, the gray color in it, like the contrast between home and the unknown? How can you?
It just felt like I had it. I don't feel like it's a very good portrayal of the situation, but I do feel that it is some sort of exaggerated way of portraying the way that people feel about this country. It's the way that I felt after coming back from the US, and I was convinced that I had to live there because that's how this country felt to me. It felt gray, it felt lifeless, it felt like it couldn't provide the sustainability that I really wanted. And it's sad to admit that I really feel this way about my country, but after experiencing other cultures, it felt like that would be the only way.
Do you think Albania doesn't give enough opportunities for great minds?
Yeah. I have to say, at least in architecture, I'm maybe being a little specific now, but all the projects that have captured our attention have been from foreign studios and from foreign architects, and I don't feel like they give enough opportunities to Albanian architects and all the students and all the people in my class that really want to do something for the city and for this country. And that's one example of people really not getting to do what they're set out to do when they choose a career.
That's true, and that's interesting, and that should be changed.
Yeah.
The way of saying it. But brain drain isn't an issue just in Albania.
Yeah.
I feel if we have someone else here in podcast with us from the Western Balkans, I don't know, from Serbia or Kosovo, I feel they will say the same thing. Like, I did a small research, and the numbers I found out about the brain drain in those countries was shocking. Like in Bosnia and Herzegovina, almost the 15% of young people won't leave, and they expressed that since the freshman year in high school or university, which is crazy in both ways. Hearing the statistics, what other countries near us is going through, do you feel more pessimistic or like how do you see it?
It does make me feel a little more pessimistic because I think back to the conversation that we had in the activity of Empower Arts, in which we presented our artworks, and we talked a lot about the difficulties of getting a job, of sustaining yourself, and starting your career in today's economic. And I think that this really is a reality for other countries as well, for other places in the Balkans. This does make me feel like everywhere it would be the same, not just in Albania, but I don't know, I feel like there's different struggles in different countries, even though it's like a similar problem.
What is more interesting, for example, from my POV, when the COVID started, almost everyone in my classroom stayed at home. But after that, in 2021, I think, where the thing stabled, they all left for studies in Italy, Greece, Austria, like Germany, and I kind of had this speech from my family that why aren't you going? Why aren't you leaving? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? This is a great country to study or to live. And I kind of feel the pressured, like they will trying to tell me that you don't have enough ambition to study there or to go there. Do you think Albanian parents or parents in general do this pressure talk, like you can be the best version there, you can study best there? Why?
I really don't know. I am probably the most the perfect example of a person that has gone through this, because after I finished high school I was told the same thing. Why don't you want to go like study abroad? Why? And in a way I really wanted to, but I did feel a little scared. I felt like I was pretty young, even though that mentality that I would really find my best self abroad was instilled upon me, but I still felt like I still had to start my career here. And even right now, that's pretty much my plan, to finish school here and to try to find some other reality abroad after experiencing a little bit of the working and doing an internship in an architectural studio. That's what I thought after everything.
Well, different people have different opinions.
Yeah.
But to my parents that might watch this, they don't know English, that most of the Albanian parents.
Yeah.
But I will say is more ambition to stay in a country where you know, kinda, that but you don't see a future. Like, you are pessimistic about the future that you might have in this country. I think it's more ambitious and more good to try to stay and to make your own name and to change the reality for the young generation that might come after us. You said you want to go abroad. What is something that Albania doesn't offer you in personal way, not just architectural way?
I feel like this may sound bad, but what I saw different from my experience in the US is the fact that everyone cares about your life and your business, and you face that sort of pressure from your family and from everyone around you, that why aren't you doing this in your life? Why aren't you doing that? And I walk around in the neighborhood where everyone knows everyone, and they know things about me from my parents that I don't even know that they know.
But that's a surprise.
So Albanian people sometimes, in my opinion, can be very judgmental, and sometimes they don't treat you the way that you want to be treated. But also, in a personal way, I have to say that a thing that I thought right now is the feeling that you cannot get anywhere without connections and without knowing people or knowing someone that knows someone. And even then, if you need help for something, people won't really help you and won't be there for you because everyone minds their own business in that way.
So let's flip the conversation from what you said. That's not my next question, but let's flip the conversation. If this podcast is somehow went to a policymaker or someone really important, like, and he or she hears it for the current situation from us, that we are the youth, what do you think, or what can you say to that person if you knew that he or she would make a change based on your words?
I would say just for them to try to take youth more into account. Something I experienced getting a job is that because of my age, they don't feel like I'm experienced enough to really learn and to really try to do something important. And I feel like they treat the youth as kids that don't really know what they're talking about. So I just would like to be taken more seriously in the things that I say and the things that really matter to the youth.
Do you have a job now?
No.
Okay. How many failed interviews have you done? Almost. Give me a round number of it.
A lot. Like at least like 4 or 5. I tried to keep one, but I couldn't because of school. My school like really takes a lot of time and pressure and everything, and it's located in a very far place, so I really couldn't access it with today's transportation. But it really was a struggle to see that it was almost impossible for someone my age to really find a job, because they would say junior architect, looking for a junior architect, and it would be like 1 year experience required. But how am I supposed to get a job without experience?
Well, you have to figure out that on your own.
Yeah.
They don't help in it.
Yeah.
How about the internships or the unpaid internships, unfortunately here? They take a long amount of time, energy, and knowing we're in school and like in age we're trying to learn from school and learn from workplace. What do you think about that? Should that be changed?
There is a very important discussion that was held the last time in the activity, in which there were 2 perspectives. Somebody said paid internships, if you're asking for a paid internship, you're kind of asking for too much, because you have no experience and you would have to get experience in order to really ask for payment. But there was also a discussion that says if you're not paid through all that work, you're not motivated to work and you don't perform very well. And I kind of think that the both of them are just as important, at least to me. Even though I wasn't paid in my internship, I did try my best. But I did hear a lot of stories about other people on internships that just didn't do anything because they weren't going to get paid anyway. So it's something that you really do have to, they have to look at your skills in order to determine whether you really deserve to be paid for your work.
Well, I'm almost in the same track of opinion, but I think there should be something promised.
Yeah,
to motivate.
That too.
Because we are youth, and if we don't see the bright side on the story, our personality is going to create it in a black maze, and no one can find a way out of it. For example, after you finish 3 months or 6 months internship, maybe you are not paid full, but small amount of money. Or at the end of it, you can be promised, if you have a good performance on that internship, you can be promised a workplace. I don't know, like to give the youth a real opportunity to go out there and to work, to see the life.
There was something as well in my internship, is that they wouldn't really give me enough work to really show and to really learn through that internship because they thought I was just gonna leave anyway. And that sort of mentality makes it feel like the internship is just wasting your time in a way, because that's the thing, you're not promised a future in the workplace, and they don't see you as an asset, they just see you as someone who's just around.
With the artwork that you saw that day in the exposit, and from what you know, do you think art is the right tool to make a voice, to make a change?
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much what I was trying to portray through my artwork. I wanted, that's why I made it so exaggerated and to make it feel very apocalyptic, very sad,
Yeah.
very depressing, because that's the most um, straightforward way to really show the message, and it's a language that everybody can understand, no matter the words, no matter the message. If you see that, you do get a feeling, you do get something that I was trying to convey.
Do you think there are still hopes in our generation to come back, or I don't know, probably get knowledge somewhere else? That's perfect if you have the opportunity to do that. But do you think there is a hope of them coming back and putting this information or this knowledge in the younger generation, or even us? I would be happy to sit down here and someone that has experienced that to tell me everything.
I feel like that would be the only thing that would really help the situation. People that have immigrated, for them to come back and to use their knowledge and their assets and everything to really help the situation in our country. That would be the only way to fix it. But I feel like that's pretty unrealistic. I don't think that people would actually do that. But through the country expressing the change, and for the country to show that it has developed, that would be the thing to motivate people to really come back and create a future here instead.
Your artwork is part of our project, the Empower Art project, which is all about using creativity as a tool of speaking our issues as youth. Like when we first created was with the motto, from youth to youth. Like we want to give it all to you. Like this opportunity was given to us and we want to give it to you. Do you think this experience helped you in personal way, artistic way? Like it changed a small perspective that you had in that moment when you first applied, and now that the project unfortunately is finishing?
In the most plain way, I was grateful that I was finally given an opportunity to draw. I hadn't done art or drawn or painted in a very long time because of school and other arrangements, and I was thankful to be given an opportunity to finally show my creative side that had been sleeping. And I also really appreciated that I had to think about the message, about something to portray, not to just draw something random. The one time that I draw, I did something that could impact people and could help convey the message that I wanted to convey about brain